Hello and welcome back to Football Daily. Unlike Figo, Lewandowski and Van Persie, loyalty for some players is everything. So here's our list of 10 players who rejected big money moves. 10. Ledley King. Spurs fans idolise Ledley King for his skill on the ball, confidence in possession, leadership abilities, but most of all, his never faltering loyalty. The 6'2" centre-back debuted back in 1999, and despite battling chronic knee injuries throughout his career, he still managed to make 268 Premier League appearances, leaving him 20th in the club's history. On his day, one of the best centre-backs in England, it's an absolute travesty that he only ever played 3 Champions League games and has a solitary League Cup to his name. A target of both Arsenal and Chelsea during the mid-noughties, he was offered improved wages and a chance of playing in Europe's elite competition. However, the Bow-born defender turned it down. When asked why, he claimed a former Spurs captain influenced his decision. "I saw the response Sol got. No, I was never going to leave, especially not to Arsenal," he said. In the end, King was capped 21 times by England despite only ever playing 30 Premier League games in 2 of his 14 seasons. He will be sadly remembered more for his injury woes than his outstanding ability. 9. Marek Hamsik. Slovakian international Marek Hamsik is without doubt one of the most underrated players of his generation. He has more than repaid Napoli's €5.5 million investment in 2007, the club's record appearance maker with 511 and 120 goals. That means Hamsik has now surpassed Maradona as the club's top goalscorer. Just 2 Coppa Italias seems scant reward though for the most crucial player in Napoli's recent history. When the Slovak, who's got 111 caps for his nation, arrived from Brescia, the Little Donkeys had just returned to the top flight, but after 2 mediocre mid-table seasons, the club has finished in the top 4 in 6 of the following 9 years. During that period, Hamsik has been directly involved in at least 17 goals in 7 of those years, peaking at 25 goal contributions in 2012-13. This sort of form saw him included in 3 Team of the Seasons and attracted the attention of numerous admirers, most notably Bayern Munich. But despite offers from multiple Premier League clubs and the 28-time German champions, Hamsik has never been tempted, claiming winning with the partner pay is better than doing it anywhere else. 8. Back in the summer of 2004, Patrick Vieira was arguably the most in-demand midfielder in Europe. He'd just captained Arsenal to the greatest achievement in the Premier League history, an unbeaten season. And whilst he played at Euro 2004, a European super club plotted a raid. On his re-election as Real Madrid president in July 2004, Florentino Perez stated that his aim was to sign the best player in the world in every single position, before saying Patrick Vieira is, in my opinion, best in the world in his role. The year before, a Los Blancos side without Claude Makélélé finished 4th in La Liga and were knocked out in the Champions League quarter-finals, and Vieira would have been the ideal replacement for his countryman. But the lanky Arsenal midfielder turned it down, citing a lack of courage, and has since said the deal was done, but when it was time to leave, I changed my mind. In the end, he only stayed for 1 more year though, winning a 3rd FA Cup before leaving for his solitary season at Juventus. 7. Pavel Nedved. Diminutive Czech playmaker Pavel Nedved was without doubt one of the standout players of the first decade of this century. Czech Fury, as he was known, first shot to prominence at Sparta Prague, where he recovered from being sent off 3 times in his first 6 games to win 4 trophies in 3 years. A move to Lazio followed, and Nedved enjoyed stunning success. A UEFA Cup final appearance and 7 trophies in 5 years, including their first Scudetto since 1974. Despite Nedved signing a new 4-year contract with the club in April 2001, club chairman Sergio Cragnotti decided to sell Nedved and Veron to Juventus and Manchester United respectively. Brought in to replace Zidane, Nedved was an instant hit, helping the side to 2 consecutive league titles and a Champions League final in 2003. His performances that year culminated in a Ballon d'Or victory, the first Czech to win it since 1962. But within 3 years, his career was at a crossroads. The Calciopoli match-fixing scandal saw Juventus relegated, and whilst players like Thuram and Cannavaro chose to leave, Nedved stayed, with Jose Mourinho's Inter hovering. He took them back to Serie A and went on to make a further 113 appearances for the club before retiring as a Bianconeri icon. 6. Paolo Maldini. Paolo Maldini had an exceptional career, 25 seasons at AC Milan in which he won 26 major trophies, including 5 Champions Leagues and 7 Scudettos. He finished his Rossoneri career having made 902 appearances, of which 174 were in European competition. Irrespective of club loyalties, Maldini is really loved throughout Italy. An Azzurri icon, he was capped 126 times by his country, only topped since by Cannavaro and Buffon, and excelled at major tournaments, reaching 2 finals, 2 semi-finals, and being named in the team of the tournament for every international competition he competed in. But the one-club man was almost tempted by a move to Chelsea to work under compatriot Gianluca Vialli in 1998. Maldini explained, "Gianluca was the only one who approached me during my 20-year career with Milan. I did consider the offer because I was hurt by some things that had been said about me. Of course, he ended up staying and won a further 8 trophies, meaning a possible Desailly-Maldini partnership never ever materialised. What a shame." 5. Paul Scholes. As far as Manchester United fans are concerned, Paul Scholes can do no wrong. First a second striker with an eye for goal, he scored at least 10 goals in 8 of the 10 seasons between 95 and 2005. But then he dropped back into midfield to become the beating metronome of Fergie's all-conquering side. Legendary status was secured when Scholes came out of retirement amidst an injury crisis in January 2012, buying a pair of boots from his local JD Sports before his first game against City, before helping United finish 11 points above their City rivals. Unsurprisingly, Scholes' outstanding vision and technical ability attracted admiring glances from other clubs throughout his career. Inter Milan president Massimo Moratti made the most notable attempt to sign him in the early noughties, but Scholes, who famously never had an agent, simply told Moratti that if he was ever going to play him, he'd have to buy United. Simple as. 4. Alan Shearer. Goss fourth-born Alan Shearer began his career at Southampton before moving to Blackburn Rovers, where he scored an incredible 112 goals in 138 games, winning 2 golden boots in the process and helping them lift the 1995 Premier League title, their first in 81 years. The summer of '96 was a defining one for Shearer, having not scored for his country in 12 games spread across 21 months leading up to it. But then he exploded at Euro '96, scoring 5 goals to take home the Golden Boot. He was now top of Fergie's shopping list, and only a last-minute intervention from chairman Jack Walker, not a fan of their Lancastrian rivals, persuaded him against a move. Instead, he returned to Newcastle for a world record £15 million. But sadly, despite netting 25 goals in 31 Premier League games, his first season finished with the Mags second for the second consecutive season behind the club he rejected. That summer, Sir Bobby Robson tried to lure Shearer to the new camp as well, but he once again resisted. He might not have won a trophy, but 260 Premier League goals, including 148 for his beloved Magpies, ensured near mythical status on Tyneside. 3. Antoine Griezmann. Now infamous, the 27-year-old Atletico Madrid star released a programme called La Decisión, which aired on Spanish television over a 2-month period, which documented his deliberations about whether to join Barcelona in a €100 million deal. He decided to stay, but rather than make a public announcement, he released a 45-second video of himself walking happily towards the Wanda Metropolitano. But the fact remains that Griezmann had, for the second consecutive summer, having turned down Man United the year before, rejected the advancements of another club. It was probably the ideal time to move as well. At 27, having scored at least 25 goals for the 4th consecutive year and coming off a brace in their Europa League victory over Marseille, his first major piece of silverware of the club, his value was at an all-time high. But now with a new contract until 2023 and CIES valuation of nearly €160 million, it will take one hell of a bid to get Griezmann out of Atletico. 2. Jamie Vardy. 2016 is a year that will forever be etched into Jamie Vardy's memory. Just 6 years after turning out for non-league side Stocksbridge Park Steels, the former Sheffield Wednesday trainee scored 24 Premier League goals, including netting 11 in 11 consecutive games to help Leicester City to the most unlikely of title wins. Their nearest rivals were Arsenal, and despite 7 wins in their final 8 games, it wasn't enough for the Gunners, and they finished 10 points behind the champions. Arsene Wenger liked what he saw though, and and believed the then 29-year-old Vardy would complement his existing forwards of Sanchez, Giroud, Welbeck and Theo Walcott. They triggered his £22 million release clause, entered into talks, but at the last minute, Vardy pulled out of the deal and instead signed a new 4-year contract. The hope was that this would persuade both Kante and Mahrez to stay, but unfortunately a month later the Frenchman joined Chelsea and Leicester struggled the following campaign. The mastermind of the miracle, Claudio Ranieri, was sacked with the club precariously positioned in 17th, and whilst they did rally to finish 12th and reach a Champions League quarter-final, this season ultimately disappointed. Now 31, who knows whether Jamie Vardy will ultimately regret turning down that big money move. Number 1. Francesco Totti. Just like Steven Gerrard, who by the way we could easily have included in this list and we have in the past, Francesco Totti rejected numerous advances during his 25-year stint with Roma. God amongst the Roman people, known for his incredible vision, technique and underrated goal-scoring ability, he has an incredible list of accolades to his name, including the Giallorossi's top goal scorer and appearance maker, 2 Goal of the Seasons and 5 Player of the Year awards. But the World Cup winners' trophy cabinet, including 1 Serie A title and 2 Coppa Italias, is pretty bare in comparison. In fact, across his entire career, Totti's side only ever reached 2 Champions League quarter-finals. Despite this, Totti consistently turned down attractive offers from European powerhouses, not least Spanish giants Barcelona and Real Madrid, who made a play for Il Capitano in 2001, when the then 26-year-old Roma captain had helped the club to a first Scudetto in 18 years. Totti, though, had a simple reason for rejecting those lucrative moves. "I never thought about the money," he said. For Totti, Roma was everything, and they will always love him for it.
So that was another one of our fantastic, riveting 10s. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go check out all our other channels, including FDFC, and don't forget to like and subscribe.